ladies and gentlemen, it is 6 o'clock on the 23rd of June, 2025. We'll call to order the meeting of the Halifax Finance Committee. This meeting is being recorded by Area 58. Committee members in attendance are Cheryl Burke, Mike Bennett, Frank Johnston, Mike Rignetta, and myself. We will begin with the agenda items as listed on the public agenda. So we'll go with the acceptance of minutes. We tried to run through a few the last meeting we had on the 9th, but we didn't really have a quorum to get them approved because I think EJ had to abstain from one. So we'll start with the minutes from 5/27. So has everybody had an opportunity to look at the minutes from 5/27?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very good. Anybody have any adds, changes, or deletions?
No.
No.
Can I get a motion to approve those minutes?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call vote. Cheryl?
Yes.
Mike Bennett?
Yes.
Frank Johnston?
Yes, on the 5/27/25
Sure.
minutes.
Mike Rignetta?
Yes.
And I'm a yes as well. So that will, those minutes are approved 5-0. The next set that we had that have been out are 6-9. Has everybody had an opportunity to look at those?
Mhm.
Very
Yes.
good. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Thank
Second.
you. Thank you. Roll call vote. Mr. Bennett?
I have,
You weren't here.
and I wasn't here for that.
Okay.
I was not here.
Cheryl?
Yes.
Frank?
Yes, on the 06/09/2025 minutes.
Mike?
Yes.
And I'm a yes as well. So those minutes are approved 4-0 with one abstention. And Cody, as I was telling Katie when I first got on, is I have some notes from our meeting right before the town meeting, so I'm going to pull those together and send them over to her to get those out on distribution, because I believe that we have had no joy from Area 58 recovering that recording.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, let me follow up. I can follow up with Rich too, and just
Okay, just put some pressure on them because
Yeah.
you know it's that I think we had approved a couple of last minute articles.
yeah.
So
Yep.
I think we need to get that out.
I agree.
All right. So I think that is it for the acceptance of minutes. So we'll move into line item transfer requests. So we currently have, I believe there are 3 on the table looking that we are looking at. So the first one, Cody, is Steve Hayward's highway one.
Yep.
His numbers aren't right.
Let's see.
He's got the same set of numbers at the top as he does at the bottom.
Give me 1 minute. Sorry. Let's see. So budget of the fiscal year. Yep. And
I don't know if that's a copy paste thing. So if he could just redo that and resubmit it,
Yep.
we'll be happy to have a look at it.
absolutely. Lindsay, can you reach out to Steve and
Yep.
Kathy and ask them to resubmit that because it doesn't make any sense?
Yes.
Thanks.
All right. Okay, so we will move on to the request for transfer from the reserve fund. So Cody, I think you were saying it's 55. It's 5,500. Is that the final number, or is that an estimate?
Yeah, no, we the proposal came in, so a little background here. Last week we noticed one of the AC condensers at Town Hall wouldn't stay running. So Scott Materna had a HVAC company come out, look at it. Basically the coil inside needs to be completely replaced. The condenser is actually still in good shape. So unfortunately to replace that coil though, it's 50, the final proposal is like 5,300. But just in case, you guys know, small things come up when they do these things.
Mhm.
So we just rounded up to the 5,500. That's an actual proposal. 5298 was the actual amount from the vendor. And we're just looking for this tonight because we gotta get this done
Sure.
yesterday. So
Yeah, well, that would have been nice, right?
yeah.
Okay. So it certainly makes sense to me. Anybody have any questions for Cody from the Finance Committee?
Well, when will it get done, Cody? What's the schedule like?
Yeah, so I gave Scott the green light on Friday to get it scheduled with the contractor, and just kind of the note that we needed the funding approved tonight. So he says he should be able to do it soon, like this week.
Okay.
Yeah.
But not tomorrow. But not tomorrow.
I don't think so, no.
No.
But we were saying it's bearable in here. It's not too bad right now, but with tomorrow when it's 100 degrees out, I'm not sure. But luckily we had used some grant funds over the winter and replaced 3 of our other. So we have 5 condensers here at Town Hall, and we replaced 3 of the 5. And of course, this is just one of the ones we didn't. But it's AC's great in all the other places, and it's those heat pumps, so they're incredibly efficient with the replacements.
Good.
Okay. Anyone else?
What the hell what happened here?
All right. Can I get a motion to approve the transfer from the reserve fund of $5,500?
So moved.
Second,
Okay, roll call vote. Cheryl,
yes.
Mike Bennett,
Yes.
Frank Johnston,
Yes, on the 5,500 for the reserve condenser, coil replacement, I mean.
thank you, sir. Mike Rignetta,
Yes.
and I am a yes as well, so that is approved. Thank you, sir. The next one that we have is a transfer of funds from the police wages to legal in the amount of $30,000 to make up for a deficit of an overrun due to legal fees. Cody, any history on that or anything you want to discuss?
Yeah, so we had some operational changes over at the police department, just bringing in some new officers and with the retirement of some older officers. So we're running really efficient over there as far as budget. I mean, we're as of this morning, we had an excess balance of like 190,000 in change in our wages for our police department, which is phenomenal. I mean, that's like 20% less than we were anticipating. So, I mean, we still have one full payroll left, and then we have a partial payroll, but we're still, I mean, we should still end with over $100,000 excess in that account, which is great. So, legal, basically, we've been doing really well with legal. It's one of those things that's obviously hard to predict, but you can predict kind of your general day-to-day things, and that's where we're averaging 3,000, 4,000 a month. It's very minimal. And we were right on track as of March. I would have told you that we would have come in under budget, but we've had a few big things come up. The first is the selectmen decided to file litigation regarding the MBTA zoning requirement. So we filed for a preliminary injunction against the state in their enforcement. So that preparing that has caused a lot of work, and that has increased our legal bill. And the other one that has really driven up the cost is the Morse Brothers litigation. So we've go back to November of 23, I believe it was. The board issued a permit to Morse Brothers for earth removal. The Morse Brothers felt as though the conditions, they felt as though they didn't need a permit, that it was an agricultural exemption, and that even though the board granted them the permit, just the requirements within the permit were not allowed. So they filed litigation against us. We've remained steadfast that we're within our right to permit them and require a permit. We have, it has gone to the appeals. So we initially did, it was ruled against us initially that they They should not be allowed to, we should not be required to have that, to make them get a permit. We feel as though the judge in that case incorrectly applied the law. Without going into it too much, basically the earth removal bylaw is a general bylaw. It's not a zoning bylaw, it's a general bylaw. And in the decision, the judge referred to us as requiring them to get this special permit, which is under Chapter 40A, which is the Zoning Act. That's not at all what this was. The judge totally mischaracterized the requirement of this permit. So that's why we feel pretty strong in our appeal that we have a good case here. But with all that, it's more litigation, more legal costs. So the appeal has cost us, at least $10,000, give or take, just by doing that appeal. And then we've also had some other legal matters come up. Our Conservation Commission has had some legal issues on 285 Holmes Street. That was a case that was just remanded back from the court back to the Conservation Commission. The deal was that they were supposed to approve the permit at that point, and I was just informed that they still did not do that, so we may end up in some more litigation there. But the big ones are really the MBTA zoning and the Morse Brothers. We also, when we prepared the budget for this year, fiscal 25, I didn't anticipate having to bargain any contracts. We had to bargain 2 contracts, although one of them, they didn't end up signing. But when we bargain contracts, there's a legal component where labor council is involved to some extent in negotiations. So that's cost several $1,000s as well that we just didn't plan for because those were new unions that we didn't know were going to be in place.
Okay, so this is just probably a little off topic on the request, but with the continuation of Morse Brothers and I don't know how many union contracts the town has to negotiate in fiscal 26. I think like 5, somewhere around there.
Yep.
Should we be looking at, an anticipated overrun of legal fees in 26 also?
We increased the budget for 26.
Right.
So we increased it by I believe $30,000
Right.
for 26. Morse, the brunt of the cost with the Morse case is done because we filed our appeal already, and that was kind of the biggest cost, was preparing that documentation. MBTA zoning, that's one of the reasons we did a small increase, because the unknown there. The initial filing obviously is under the current fiscal year, but we anticipate, so the court came out and ruled against the 6 other communities and granted the motion to dismiss. We anticipate they are going to request a motion to dismiss with our case, and we are not going to agree to that, I would anticipate. So there may be some appeals costs involved there if the motion to dismiss is granted. And to be honest with you, Jim, it really is going to depend on the next town administrator, how comfortable they feel with negotiations. So, when I came into negotiations, I had labor council there with some of the negotiations, but a lot of them I felt comfortable. I had a lot of experience with collective bargaining, and I didn't need them at every single meeting. There's a lot of people that prefer that, and there's no right or wrong way. So if there's a desire to have labor council in all the negotiations, which again is not a bad idea, I could see the budget overrunning just because that's a huge cost. But it's just too many unknowns. If all goes well, though, I still think our figure is a solid figure. If we were to do the budget again, I would still budget what we budgeted right at this point.
Okay. I appreciate the feedback. Thank you.
Yep.
All right. Anybody have any other questions for Cody regarding the $30,000 transfer? Okay. Can I get a motion to approve the transfer of $30,000 from police wages to the legal account for the town?
So moved.
Second.
Do roll call vote. Cheryl?
Yes.
Mike Bennett?
Yes.
Frank Johnston?
Yes, on the $30,000.
And I'm a yes as well. So, all right. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate that. That's 5-0. Okay. I believe those are all the line item transfers that are out there.
Yes.
Okay, so we will close out that agenda item and move on to the appointment committee review. So Cheryl went to the appointment committee last Tuesday,
I did.
and Frank and I are back in the game for the next 3 years.
You are. Yes,
We
you
got
are.
our cards today and got sworn in, so we're all set.
Congratulations.
Happy to do it.
Mm.
Cheryl, any other commentary or anything you want to chat about last week? Or
No, it was fine. It's very simple.
okay, perfect. Well, thank you very much for doing it. Certainly.
Why,
do-
certainly, we couldn't do without you two, so.
Wouldn't want to.
Same.
Okay. Well, that
Thank
takes
you,
us to our
everybody.
next. What's that? I'm sorry, Frank.
Just thank you, everybody, for
Yeah, no, I thank everybody too. It's
putting the faith in
I-
us.
I think it's a great committee, and I love being on it. That's
Absolutely.
okay. So that moves us. So since we had an election, we usually, or the town usually, looks at a reorganization of the committee. I'm certainly happy to continue as the chairman of the finance committee. If there's anyone else who would like to take a run at it for the year, that's certainly fine. But as I said, I'm happy to continue in the role.
I'm happy to have you there in that role.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, absolutely.
For now, anyway.
For now. So Cody, do we need to vote on that, or is that just
You should, yeah, you should.
Okay.
You should technically appoint a chair and vice
Sure.
chair every year.
so if someone could appoint, make a motion?
I make a motion that we nominate Jim Waters to be the chairperson of the finance committee.
Second.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll do a quick roll call. Cheryl,
Yes,
Mike Bennett,
Yes.
Frank Johnston,
Yes, for Jim to be the chairman of the committee.
you, Mike Rignetta.
Yes.
Thank you, everybody. I will abstain from that vote. Can't vote for yourself, I don't think. Okay, so subsequent to that, Cheryl, I think you've done a great job as the vice chair. If you want to continue in that role, be happy to have you do it. Your thoughts?
I do.
Okay, so that being said, I would like to make a motion to nominate Cheryl to be the vice chair of the finance committee for FY26.
I'll
Second.
second that.
Excellent. So we'll do a quick roll call vote. Mike Bennett,
Yes.
Frank Johnston,
Yes, for Cheryl as vice chair.
Mike Rignetta,
Yes.
and I am a yes as well. So congratulations, Cheryl. You are vice chair for another year.
Thank you.
Which leads us to our last position, Mr. Bennett, our finance committee secretary.
Yay. Oh, no. I'm the clerk.
The what?
I'm not the secretary.
Clerk.
There's a
I'm
difference.
sorry. My apologies.
There's a difference. I'm the clerk.
Yes. Okay. My apologies.
I'm not taking
No, we have Katie's our secretary.
Katie's
so
job. No way.
don't want to get in the middle of that. Okay, so Mike, if you want to continue on as clerk, that's certainly great. Love to have you. Any thoughts on that? Any comments?
Yep, I'm happy to do it.
All
Happy
right.
to do it.
That being said, I
Yeah.
would like to make a
Yeah.
motion to.
I make a motion that Mike Bennett continue as clerk of the finance committee for 2026.
Excellent. I will second that. So let's do a roll call
Second.
vote. Cheryl,
Yes,
Frank, we'll come back to Frank. Mike,
Yes.
Yes, for Mike as clerk of the finance committee.
okay. Mr. Rignetta,
Yes, please.
and I am a
You
yes
get
as
that,
well.
Jim?
So- yeah, we got you, sir. Thank you.
Yes,
It's
sir.
just a bit of a delay, so it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Well, Mike, thanks. Appreciate your time, and I look forward to working with everybody for the next.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Three.
It's going to be a
Thanks,
tough
Mike.
year, so
Yep.
to everything that's going on. Okay. Well, I think so we will, that completes the reorganization of the Finance Committee for fiscal year 26. I know we have an opening with Mr. Smith getting onto the Board of Selectmen. So any talent bank forms, Cody, come in for the Finance Committee or?
I don't think we've gotten any yet. No.
Okay.
You don't know what they're missing.
I know.
I know.
All the fun we have.
That's the problem. They know what they're going to be missing. They don't want-
They're all like, we were at town meeting a month ago. No way for next year.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if you guys, if I run into anybody in town that's interested in doing it, I'll certainly have them put in a talent bank form, and we'll, kind of get that going. Because I know I've heard several people say they would certainly do it, but when I've talked to them about the current opening, it's been crickets, basically.
Hmm.
So we'll keep trying. All right. So that's it for the talent bank forms. So Finance Committee summer schedule. So, we were going to cover this in next meeting planning, but I'm thinking, possibly 2 meetings in July and then like 1 in August, I think is really kind of how we've been running it. And then we'll get back into our twice a month in September. Once all the kids are back in school and, we are, we can get back on our first and third Monday schedule, which always gets thrown off during budget season. So I'm thinking we can do if everybody's okay with the meeting at Town Hall on the 7th of July. So that's after the holiday weekend.
Yeah, that should be good.
Does that work for everybody?
Yeah.
So we'll do the 7th of July, and then we'll do a Zoom
Yeah.
meeting on the 21st.
Jim, you may not, if you guys want to keep the 21st, you can. I don't know if you're going to have anything on the 21st. The 7th,
Okay.
definitely, because the deadline for line item transfers is the 15th. So
Right.
the 7th, I would definitely keep.
Okay.
But we can't do anything after that. So I don't know if you're going to have anything on the 21st. You can, if you want, you can keep it tentative. And if something
Yeah.
you guys want to talk about, but I don't, you may just be meeting to meet at that point.
Okay. So we'll put together like a generic agenda for the 21st, calendarize it, and then if we need to cancel, then Lindsay, you and I can kind of get together on that and figure that piece out. Okay.
Mhm.
And then, when we'll talk about August when we, on the 7th, I guess.
Okay.
Okay.
That works.
Everybody okay with that?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
All right. All righty. Okay. So regarding any correspondence or as may arise, I haven't gotten anything in my email from the public. Anyone else get anything? Frank, you see anything?
No.
Yeah. I haven't gotten anything either. It's all been like empty. So that's good. All right. So,
Jim, I would say this though. I've run into several people being around the soccer fields and around elementary school recently for field day and some other stuff.
Mhm.
And I've gotten remarkably many compliments on our committee and the work we did into last year. And I mean, like more than a handful of people some I didn't even know. And they were like, "Hey, aren't you on the finance committee?" And I said, "It depends." And I would check their hands and their pockets first, and then I would answer. But yeah, more than a handful of people. So I just wanted to bring it up because it doesn't always come in writing, but in person, I've had more than a handful of people, compliment us on the work we did into last year's budget. So and knowing going into next year's was going to be tough as well.
Yeah.
They were happy that we were able to, sort of convey that this early, so that people can sort of get on board and plan and think ahead. So, but it was a good reception from some of the people. So
Nice to hear.
Yeah, that is good to
with you
hear.
guys. Yeah, don't always hear those good things.
Appreciate you bringing that in. That's good to know. Cody, has there been? I know the selectmen were putting together for like a an override committee for next year. Is that like formalized yet, or they're still accepting applications, or what?
Yeah, the board approved the charge. We haven't posted for the openings or anything yet, just because we're currently we're accepting applications for finance committee,
Right.
planning board. I'm missing something else too.
Oh,
School
yeah.
committee.
Yeah.
And those are all due June 30th. So I suggested to the board, let's wait to post that until July 1st.
Okay.
So we'll be posting that July 1st for the openings. The committee itself is made up of, let me see, it's a member of the Board of Selectmen. It's a member of the, sorry, give me 1 second.
Believe it included a finance member
Yeah.
as well, Cody.
Yep, so it's a member of the Board of Selectmen, a member of the Finance Committee, a member of the School Committee, a member of, so elementary school and Silver Lake, and then a member at large. So 5 members.
Okay.
So this will go out on the 1st, and then at that point, you guys can choose who your representative will be to that group.
Roger that.
Cody, if there's 5 spots and that at-large spot had no talent bank applications and one of us applied, would we be able to do that
I don't see why not. Yeah.
as the at-large citizen spot? I'm just curious.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't see why the board wouldn't. I think they'd probably like to open it up initially to, just someone who's not involved in the finance committee.
Right.
But if there isn't any interest, I can definitely see them, approving, a member of the committee.
Okay.
I'm thinking they'll be lining up for that citizen at large.
You'd hope so, Frank.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
I can think of a couple names off the top of my head already. Yes.
Well, they could get somebody from one of the public forums that we have.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
One of the
With so
three,
many
yeah.
to choose from.
There's just so many of them there.
Are you suggesting Fred Corrigan? Because he's one of the only ones that remember. Oh, you're why actually Ruth was there, right?
Yeah, Ruth was in. Yes, Ruth showed up.
That's
Chris Winowitz was there as
I'm
well.
gonna say
yes, that's true.
Yeah,
true.
and his mom too, I think, right? Didn't he have his mom on it? Was it?
Yeah.
Yes,
Deb did.
that was on Zoom.
Oh,
Yeah,
look at
yeah.
all these people.
Yeah, family affair.
You guys are crazy. Okay. Anything else for As May Arise? Anybody want to have anything to discuss with the finance committee members while we are here?
I just want, so this will be my last meeting. My last day in the office is July 8th, but I'm off the 7th. So I just want to express how grateful I am for all of your partnership over the past few years. You've made my life a lot easier. Finance committees can either make a town administrator's life a lot harder or a lot easier. And I've been very fortunate over the past few years to have such a good group of you. You've worked it with me. You've respected the professionalism, and I think you've truly been an asset to me and also to the community in all the departments. So I thank you all. I really appreciated and enjoyed working with you, which I genuinely mean. You don't hear that a lot, but I really have enjoyed working with all of you. And I look forward to watching you guys just from a distance going forward.
Thank you.
I certainly enjoyed working with you, Cody, as well over the years. It's
Enjoyed
been,
working with you as well.
yeah, we're gonna miss you.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you, Cody. And I don't want to see any emails over OMLs coming in from you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cody, it's been really great having you here. I think your professional demeanor in public meetings and
Yes.
some of the rancor that was coming directed at you, and the way you dealt with it in public and in private was extremely professional. So I nothing but high marks from me on that.
Thank you.
I agree.
And you're in good hands with Lindsay. Lindsay is great. She's an incredible asset to the town. And the board will be I anticipate hiring an interim town administrator. I think they're going to probably do a special meeting next week to interview a few candidates. And then, the process is ongoing for the permanent replacement. The recruiter has posted the position. I think applications are due sometime around July 10th, give or take a couple days. And then the board will be putting together that screening committee. And the goal would be, I think the board would like to have an offer out by the end of July to a candidate. And then, we'll see what happens with a notice. If you find someone who's a town administrator, it might be a little more, but the board's definitely on top of it and moving forward. So I'd like to think you'll have someone in place prior to the start of budget season, which will be good.
Yeah, that would be great.
Necessary.
Thank you, Cody.
Well, it's been my pleasure. It really has.
Okay. Anything else?
Mm.
All right. So that moves us out of correspondence as may arise into public participation. I don't see any members of the public here. So I'm missing something. So we will close out that. We already discussed next meeting planning. So again, we'll be meeting in person town hall on the 7th. And then if we need it on the 21st, that meeting will already be set up. If not, as I said, Lindsay and I will chat about that, and we may just cancel that. So we shall see. But we will talk about August when we meet on the 7th, just so we get that nailed down.
That's as long as the AC is fixed by the 7th.
Right. Well, yeah. Okay. All right. I think that is it for our meeting this evening. Again, appreciate everybody's time and being on time to the call. So can we get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call vote. Cheryl?
Yes.
Mike Bennett?
Yes.
Frank Johnston?
Yes, to adjourn, please.
Thank you, sir. Mike Rignetta?
Yes.
And I am a yes as well. Our meeting is adjourned. I will see everyone the next time.
Have a good night.
Thank you all. Good night,
Have a good
everybody.
night, guys.
Everybody.